The PNP, them done some fool.
What a crosses, what a crosses, what a crosses, you know. PNP full of crosses, Jamaica people. Them decide to they want back Kevin Stevenson for come help save Mark Golden. Then the next thing, they are losing their ish over Dennis Chung's appointments to the FID. Because with the FID, it will be Chung's duty to investigate financial crimes, including money laundering and everything. So it looked like Mark Golden and Dennis Chung get close to the money we're hiding at the trust fund. What a piece of bangarang for Mark Golden. Them get so mad that now they have issued a 72-hour threat to the JLP to rescind or revoke the appointment. What a piece of hypocrisy. The same PNP that kept silent, when Dayton Campbell's friend Ronif Lawrence was appointed acting director of prosecutions at the Integrity Commission.
The leaders of government business in both the Senate and the House of Representatives have written to the new chairman of the Integrity Commission, taking issue with the appointment of Ronif Lawrence as acting director of corruption prosecution. Lawrence, a friend of the PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell. Campbell says a 20-year friendship, and the government leaders in the parliament said it doesn't look good, and it does suggest that anything the gentleman does will be colored by partisan politics, and they're asking the IC chairman to do something about that. She has said she needs evidence on which to act. So we discussed that issue this evening.
See NIA run out there. See JAMP run out there. Mark Golden asked the whole of them to run out when he was at the constituency meeting in central Kingston. The new place apparently to get your bleaching cream.
Them a bleach, feel look like a browning. Girl, me honor you, and you no bleach out your skin. You no use no chemical, feel look like no browning.
But fun and joke aside, the PNP, they go all the way, go hold another press conference, riling up the Jamaican people, trying to make a big deal out of this matter as if just because Dennis Chung gave his opinion on the foolishness that they were trying to do with Dr. Andrew Holness, Mark Golding, Peter Bunting, Dayton Campbell, Julian Robinson, and the rest of them forward and attack a bag of things, trying to insinuate or even blatantly said that the man isn't qualified for the job, when they know full flipping well that this man is qualified with over 30 years experience.
News is coming through that the opposition PNP has called a press conference for midday today, Thursday, 29th May 2025. They are going to be putting the spotlight, listeners, on this announced appointment by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service of Dennis Chung to serve as Chief Technical Director, essentially the operational head of the Financial Investigations Division. We're not surprised. It is not surprising. The PNP are quintessential hypocrites. It is very easy. I say it all the time. They're a gift that keep on giving. I say it all the time. What you have on the part of the PNP is always expediency, not principle. Just in recent weeks, concerns were raised regarding Ronif Lawrence at the Integrity Commission. Well-founded concerns. Yes? In this instance, and the PNP didn't concur with the concerns that were raised then, but in this instance, consequent on a competitive recruitment, Dennis Chung, based on his credentials, his track record that spans political parties and political administrations in this country, which speaks for itself. He has been tapped to serve as Chief Technical Director at the FID. And the PNP is going to be convening a press conference to say that he's supportive of wholeness. Rubbish. Dennis Chung, listeners, and we need to understand this. Dennis Chung is a certified chartered accountant, qualified and certified. And so, oftentimes, especially in relation to finance-related discussions, just like commentators like Ralston Hyman, Dennis Chung, just like Anne Shirley some time ago, just like John Jackson or Keith Collister, this tax expert, what's her name? Miss Peart, Alison Peart. Yes? These persons oftentimes feature in public discussion, especially on programs, touching and concerning matters of the budget and finance issues and so on. So Dennis Chung has long been a financial analyst in this program and a contributor to many media events, many media programs and discussion programs, whether on Nationwide, whether on Power 106, whether on RJR, you name it. Dennis Chung has often been on programs as a financial analyst. Dennis Chung, like many other persons, essentially serves also as a public affairs commentator based on his skill sets, based on his experience, based on his expertise, and based on the many entities that he would have served both in the private sector in this country and in the public sector. So Dennis Chung, in his capacity as a financial expert, a financial analyst, and indeed a public affairs commentator, was engaged by the media in relation to matters touching and concerning the Integrity Commission's report into the Prime Minister. And Dennis Chung would have provided his perspectives and views in relation to this business of 28 accounts, and he would have done so from the background of and from the standpoint of his experience as a certified chartered accountant and a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants here in Jamaica. He would have done so based on his considerable skill sets and experience. This is a man who served at JMMB. He served at Daring, Bunting and Golding, I gather. He has served on the board of GK, some Grace Kennedy organization. He has served as the Chief Executive Officer of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. Most recently, he has been serving as the General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation. And one thing Dennis Chung would have distinguished himself with is the whole business of fixing or turning around organizations that he has been associated with, especially from a governance standpoint. He has managerial and leadership skill sets, and the man is eminently and suitably qualified to be Chief Technical Director at the FID. But here comes the PNP seeking to tear the man down.
So a lot has been said by Senator Marlon Morgan, who show you how qualified the man is. He's worked on both sides of the administration, worked with NSWMA, worked with Mike Henry, worked with Portia Simpson Miller. He has been responsible for a lot of things. So this is not about qualification. This is about the fear, because you hear what the man said a while ago. Him used to work for DB&G, which means he understood the financial operations. So what Mark Gold and them do is a real smoke screen, because now they're dealing with somebody who is familiar with their dirty games. So nothing will be withdrawn. Nothing at all. Also, remember, Mark Golden used to work for Grace Kennedy also. The PNP, they're making a bag of noise, acting as if they are concerned about integrity. But the real issue is they're trying to protect themselves, because the very thing that they're doing, they are fearful that the same thing gonna reach them. This is a taste of their own medicine. That's how they're looking at it. But one thing I want to talk about, after the conference, somebody called in during that conference and he asked the question, a blogger asked the question, are we going to take to the streets? Or are we going to pursue an illegal route? Mark Gold and them couldn't say they're going to pursue an illegal route, but to save face, they acted as if they would have done it. The same blogger asked, so are we going to demonstrate? They had to say this is something that we will look into. We haven't discussed it as yet, but Mark Gold and them know say nothing not dead if we demonstrate about. This is an attempt to cover up the truth because now they are dealing with somebody who they believe is a threat to expose the big fat lie that's been going on in Jamaica, or the big fat lies. So we look forward to see what's going to come, but people be careful out there because PNP already had taught. So they were calling into the show. Make we talk by Tavares. Go and listen to it. PNP, they are calling about them want to take things to street. Because all Mark Gold in them do is come out here and rile up people who don't have knowledge of what's really happening. But thank God the security forces are working. The government is working. The truth is coming out. And we ought to be grateful. Go in the comments and let me know what you think right now.
Like and share. Like and share.
Me didn't have to be a labor right. Me didn't have to be a labor right. Look here. Then me could have never be a labor right. Jesus Christ, man. God bless me.